Dead wombats. That makes sense. They're really dead. Hey guys, welcome to another exciting edition of the Explain Everything podcast with Tyler and Neil. I'm Tyler.
I'm Neil.
And we're going to be your tour guides on this magic carpet ride. We're so excited to have you here.
Can somebody explain why we're talking like this?
Yeah, we're just taking it real nice. You remember Delilah?
Every
time I talk slow, I think...
I went to SNL.
yeah.
Sweaty.
Yeah. Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
Alec Baldwin. Yeah,
that's what I did. Hey, welcome back to episode 400. Big deal.
4.
This is a milestone episode for you guys.
We've been doing this podcast since 2008 every week. You're thinking the numbers don't add up. 400, you should have well over, you know what?
We'll explain math to you later.
Yeah.
If only we knew someone.
If only knew a math YouTuber that could explain it. I don't know. We'll search for slope intercept formula, see if we can find one.
Wow.
Okay, so
check.
I'm Tyler, and I'm excited that you guys are here today. We've got a topic that I say this is a topic it's got renewed force. I don't think it ever went down. It's a topic that won't die.
No.
This show will continue for the rest of time.
I would think.
So too.
We're in an office right now talking about
The Office.
The Office.
We're not talking about this office.
No.
We're talking about The Office. Dunder Mifflin.
My gosh.
Scranton, if you will.
What an incredible show.
It's absolutely it's amazing.
So you made a yearbook a few years in a row, and the yearbook that you made for NLC College, everybody got to put their own favorite quotes in there.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I was shocked how many college students, their quotes were something from The Office.
These are 18, 19-year-olds. And
There
I
was
would
a
say
30-year-old.
about...
You have one 30-year-old. No, you didn't.
No. We would notice.
Yeah.
No, and they had, I would say about 15 to 20% of their quotes, if they could put anything, were Office quotes. Some of them just put off, like, The Office episode, season 2, episode 4. Like they didn't, and then you look it up and you're like, oh, that's a quote. Like the title of that episode is the quote they wanted.
Yep.
Like it is, like these are 18. When does Office start? It premiered in 2006.
It had 9 seasons.
Yeah, so it premiered in
So we can find that out.
Yeah, we know it because we explain everything, and we would never talk about anything we don't know everything about. But I remember, so the show ended in 2012. Is that right?
We're going to find out.
2000?
It started in 2005.
So it ended in 2004. No, I'm sorry, 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I know what 2005 plus 9 is.
I was like, wow, I've been doing it wrong my entire life.
9 is the negative one of the positive numbers. Everybody.
So 9 seasons.
Yeah.
And look, even on IMDb, the popularity of it, even here, is going up.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, last week, and we actually had this set up to talk about it, but last week, Netflix and NBC Universal and, I don't know, the people who made The Office, they had a big announcement. This is what people are freaking out about.
Yeah. What's that announcement, Neil? You're the one that saw it. I haven't even read anything on it. I just know your text message about it.
So, The Office, in a year and a half, leaves Netflix and goes over to NBC's streaming platform. Now, NBC Universal were the original, I think it was Deedle Pants. Is that the name of the company, the production company? That it comes up at the end.
Because Greg Daniels made it.
Yes.
But then also, like, Gervais and Stephen Merchant, who created the British Office.
Right.
They, like, got in it, but I think they just made money on it because they created it.
I'm sure they did.
But a fair amount.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody get paid. Board man get paid. Am I right?
Yes.
Kawhi Leonard. All right. So, yes. So, I would think that's Greg Daniels' production company.
Yes. So, NBC actually had to buy it back from Netflix to be able to put it on their own streaming platform. Now, if you have Netflix right now, do not panic. You have a year and a half.
From now.
But man, Twitter, Instagram, there's another social network, I can't really remember what it's called. They all freaked out.
Yeah.
Like, people just blew up. Like, it was like you took their everything away.
I'm pretty sure it is the most watched thing on Netflix, like right now.
It is. Well, it's that, and what do you think the other number one show is on
Friends,
Netflix?
probably.
Friends.
Yeah, Friends.
Which you're going, what?
Yeah, Friends ended in 2003, 4, something like that.
Gosh.
Like, it's been over for a while.
Walk into my house any day of the week, and the TVs that I have upstairs or in the living room, odds are you're going to hear Friends or The Office on either one of them. That's my kids. That's not even me.
And this isn't like, I think Netflix has just made it easier because I remember when I was in college, like Friends was over, but in our dorm room, we would just have seasons of Friends playing on the DVD player at the time. I remember that's what I bought with my graduation money when I graduated in 2003. There was like a 2-week gap before I started working that summer, and I just would go to Hastings and buy seasons of the DVDs for Friends.
Man, Hastings.
It's good stuff. So this is what, okay, before we get into like the office, the minutia, if you will.
Oh.
I had a conversation with somebody last week and they used minutia twice in the same. I was just like, that's a good word. I need to start using it more. No, too little.
Oh.
You were going to say too many. So here's the problem. We're going to start seeing Netflix, more and more of these shows being pulled off of Netflix. Disney's doing it. They're creating their own app. Everybody's wanting their own app because it's more consistent revenue for them, where Netflix was building up, like, being the place for this. And so Netflix is like, oh, we know in, 2 to 7 years, we're going to lose all of our shows that we didn't create. So they started putting all their money into creating their own shows and movies, which they're doing a great job. But they knew they were going to start losing these other shows that have brand recognition, of set fan base already. The Office had a fan base
already,
but now it's getting a new fan base with these young people, like these teenagers coming in and watching it on Netflix because they're on Netflix and it's easy. Here's the problem. When you start splitting that out, people have to start making decisions because whereas when you drop DirecTV, you're like, oh, I'm saving $70. I can just spend $20. I can do Hulu. I can do Netflix. And that's $20. Like we did that years ago. And now we do YouTube TV because I've worked out where people pay me and it's free because I'm a family sharing plan. Don't tell nobody. Hey. Sorry, YouTube TV. Neil's one of them. What's up, Neil?
Hey!
But what you're going to do is you're going to see all these people wanting to put things on their own apps for like $5 here, $3 here, $8 here. And then people are going to have to start making decisions. This is another thing people aren't talking about in my IMO, in my opinion. Started using that lately.
That's good.
Is there are certain apps. Do you remember when they launched it was Yahoo, the Yahoo like Netflix? So it's like they were going to do Community. It was season 5 or 6. They were like, we're going to do it on the Yahoo app.
Yeah.
And nobody watched it. No. I tried watching it. The Yahoo app was so terrible. Did not load very well.
Yeah.
It didn't, like every time, if I got kicked out or accidentally hit the button to get out, I had to go in and find my place in the show.
Automatically.
No. Yeah. And I was like, Netflix and YouTube do app online video the best.
Oh, yeah.
They condense the video. It plays well. It rolls in. They figured it out.
Yep.
These other companies, they're being ran by like 200-year-old men who don't know how to approve things that are correct.
Right.
Like Jeff at NBC Universal, like, oh, let's make the Office where you can just go in. I like to play things on my Amazon tablet.
Yeah.
So
I want to listen to that on my Zune. What?
Microsoft Zune.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's frustrating. We're going to have all these levels of frustration now, where it was easy with Netflix just having everything.
Well, so I believe we're going backwards now and we'll have to do an episode on the streaming platforms that are coming out with Disney Plus, with NBC Universal having their own. So basically what happened is NBC Universal bought back. Now, do you know how much they bought it back for?
It's got to be more than $50-$60.
Yes, it was more than what you and I have to pay for our Netflix subscription. So Netflix actually came in with an offer of $90 million a year to keep the rights for all 9 seasons of the series. NBC Universal came in with $100 million a year, and it basically cost them $500 million to get the show for 5 years. That starts
$500 million.
Yes, for one show that they already technically own. They made it.
That's crazy.
They had to buy it back. All that means is Netflix beat them to the punch before, and it took them a while. So in January 2020, NBC will announce their streaming platform. That's why they're trying to get these shows back.
Yeah, they're trying to get their own shows
back. Oh,
back.
gosh. So The Office, when it first came out, my dad is the one who told me, he said, hey, I used to watch this British version of this show. Mm-hmm. They have this American one that's coming out. And I think at the time I had what were the DVRs called?
TiVo?
TiVo. Yeah, it went, what? Yeah,
President Trump mentioned TiVo.
No,
in a speech a week or two ago, acting like it was new. He said, and it was like TiVo. That's fine. Go ahead. Sorry,
he doesn't know.
He might be. He might be one of those executives from NBC. That,
oh my gosh,
is going to have the button that we all love.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. So I set it to record, and I watched it. I thought it was hilarious, but the first season was not its best by far. It was trying to mimic what the British version had, and it was so dry. I was like, Gina, come back downstairs. You got to watch this with me.
Yeah.
And I went back and watched it again, and she didn't make it 10 minutes in. She's like, this is awful. And now looking back on it, it wasn't great, but I just stuck it out because I also had watched the British version with Ricky Gervais. He's hilarious.
He's insane.
But he's crazy. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
He's Steve Carell. I think is acting. I think Ricky Gervais is absolutely.
Oh yeah,
insane.
he's the difference for me because I went back and watched the British Office. It's one of those things like it's uncomfortable funny. Like there's a couple like you think of the most uncomfortable scenes in the regular Office. I would say like Scott's Tots is uncomfortable. Maybe the business school where he's like given the thing and he's like. I don't know. It's not as bad as Scott's Toss, but there's a couple, 2 or 3. Oh, the wedding. The wedding was pretty rough. Phyllis's wedding, where Michael's up there and he's like trying to give that speech about Phyllis. Like that's uncomfortable funny. That is the brand of the British Office.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's Ricky Gervais. Like the one that comes to mind is they did a fire alarm or fire drill. And there was a lady in a wheelchair, and they were on like the 2nd or 3rd floor. The elevator wasn't working, and she was like, "No, it's just a drill. I'll wait here. You know, we know if it's real." Like he was like, "No, we're gonna make this happen." And they go, and he makes that version of Dwight, which is the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean with the wooden eye. You know, the wooden eye guy. That's Dwight in the British one. And they carry her down, and they're like halfway down the stairs with their wheelchair, and then they're tired, so we'll just come back and get you. So they leave her there. And so they cut back and forth to her a couple times. She's sitting in her wheelchair at this like platform between stairs. She can't go up or down.
Yeah.
It's that amount of uncomfortable. It's like throughout the whole show. And it's like he's more like whereas Michael Scott's got that desperate I want to be loved. Yeah. Gervais does it, but it's almost in like a I think I'm great and you're going to have to watch. You're going to have to sit here and consume. I have your attention.
How many episodes did the British Office? How many seasons?
I think it was only 3 seasons and a couple specials. British people do TV weird. It was like 3 seasons, 3 short seasons, and then like 2, like a Christmas special and a summer special.
Yeah, because the same thing happened with Sherlock Holmes. Like, why are you doing these weird episodes?
It's like it's like a mini series, but then they throw in like random movies.
Ever. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's like the show got canceled every season, and then they just like figure out like, okay, we can get one more season. They try to add stuff in, but it was good. So you started watching The Office in season 1?
Yeah,
I watched that's when you
1.
jumped in.
Yep, watched the entire thing all the way through. I did not realize the viewership went up drastically in the 5th season. Was its highest viewership of average 9 million viewers per episode, but it went way down by the time it got to the end.
Whenever Steve Carell left.
I honestly think that's where the show took a turn. So I have a favorite episode, the one where they go to Benihana
and he marks her arm.
That one's actually that was directed by oh my gosh.
John Krasinski?
No.
He directed some
the guy from Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah. I know you're talking about. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Yeah. Super good at croquet.
Really?
No, I don't know.
I did not know.
I was filling time while you were thinking of his name.
That was really good. I couldn't think of his name.
Not Rickman.
Wasn't going to. No.
Is Rickman? No,
Alan
Rickman.
Is Alan Rickman.
He's Snape from Harry Potter.
Yeah, not good.
And Galaxy Quest.
Yes.
Underrated comedy.
So that one was by far my favorite episode. I don't know what it was, how he couldn't tell them apart. Everybody has their favorites, I think. There are more memes, there are more quotes, there is more office humor and content and all that kind of stuff. I would say every meeting that I am in or every work situation that I am in the middle of something, somebody is doing something and I'll go, oh my gosh, this reminds me of that one thing from The Office, because they just perfectly captured it.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
If I'm picking a favorite, I mean, the Benihana episode was hilarious. Whenever he's telling Dwight about, whenever he's giving instructions, like, you got to go into the gullet.
Yeah.
How to kill a duck or something.
So good. How he had to mark the 2 Asian girls with a marker because he didn't know which one was his.
Oh, it's
really bad.
So funny. I love, okay, so I'm not one of those people that just went back and rewatched seasons of it. I watched it all the way through, and then I've seen clips on the internet of like main stuff. And so like my thing is I think of the openers like as their own episodes. And so if I'm not gonna pick my favorite episode, I'll pick my 2 favorite openers. I loved the parkour opener because at the time I was teaching high school, and I was the sponsor of Student Council, Christian Club, and Anime Club. And apparently one of the criteria for Anime Club for the males was that you had to pretend like you were a parkour expert. And so every time I would leave school, they would be on the elementary school playground, jumping off of slides and rolling, not in a smooth jump off this and then roll it's they jump off, hit, and they realize, okay, I got to roll now, roll. And so seeing that parkour was the embodiment
of
exactly
what
they were doing during the day.
When they were yelling.
Parkour! And then they're just rolling on the couch. I can't tell you how many times I did that. Amanda was like, please stop running around our house, jumping off, kicking the side of the wall.
It's amazing.
And yelling parkour. And then I would say the fire alarm. I just remember the whole thing with Dwight doing the fake fire alarm and starting the fire, and then the cat up through the roof and all that. That whole opener sequence. Oh no. If I'm picking a favorite. Okay, Tyler's picking a favorite. Prison Mike. Mike.
Yeah,
I just love it. And I could even narrow it down to my favorite line in the episode. It's what was the worst part? The Dementors. Oh, I mean, that had...
I don't know how you write that.
Well,
that is...
J.K. Rowling wrote that joke for them in the late 90s. When she started Harry Potter, she wrote that joke for him to use in that episode of The Office because it's so perfect.
Yeah, that was amazing.
So good. Oh my
the
goodness.
amount of memes and GIFs and clips off of Prison
the GIFs. No.
It's just...
Oh, yeah. No, that wasn't Mike. I'm sorry.
And it never got caught.
Never got caught neither.
So some famous Hollywood directors. It was actually Harold Ramis is the guy
that's what I said
who directed that one, which is the Benihana Christmas. That was the episode name. I did not realize this. Josh Whedon directed 2 episods. And Jon Favreau directed an episode.
Directed the first Iron Man.
Yep. And the second one.
Did he?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then J.J. Abrams also did an episode. And then,
and he did it while dressed like John Mayer, apparently, from that photo.
Yeah, that's a real good-looking picture. You can't see it. And then Jason Reitman did 2 of them. So there have been some pretty famous, I would say confidently, that The Office has made careers for so many people.
Yep, Rainn Wilson, John Krasinski, Jenna Fisher. I mean, she's been in and out of movies, but she's still, she's a recognizable. She'll never be hungry again because of this show. I mean, obviously she gets royalties, but also, she can get a role as a bit part in anything because people can throw her in a movie, pay her, $50,000 to just bounce in for a cameo, and people are going to be pulling in Office fans because the show's still popular.
Right.
It's still a top shelf show.
There's a big rumor out there. There has been, I would say, for about a year about not a reboot, but for them to pick it back up, for The Office to go back to NBC. And most of the original people signed back up and said yes. John Krasinski said yes. Jenna Fisher said yes. I don't think Steve Carell said yes because he has actually signed up for a Netflix show that is written and produced by the same people that made The Office.
Greg Daniels?
It's called Space Force. This is about the office environment of people who are in charge of what President Trump has called Space Force. And so that show will come out, I think, at the beginning of next year in 2020.
And it's a Netflix show.
It is a Netflix show.
Netflix ain't going to buy that from nobody.
No, they won't have to. So that's why he has said no to coming back and doing this. But most of the original cast were on board for it. But I don't honestly see how Steve Carell could come back after he left on the show. His exit from that show was
so
just
good.
Yeah.
I think they did a really good job bringing him back for the last episode because they didn't make it about his return, but they gave it a couple pieces, and they made, and the way Steve Carell portrayed it wasn't like, hey, everybody look at me. It was like, I'm content, but I'm not trying to steal the show. This is your moment, Dwight. I want to be a part of it because, he had to be a part of it. It would have been lame if he hadn't.
Would you say, so a lot of big shows like this, 9 seasons is a long time. So the last show of any major television run like this is typically never lives up to the hype. But The Office, I think, did a pretty good job.
Yeah, The
Office,
it
wasn't terrible.
No, they were like the Avengers Endgame of comedy TV shows.
They
gave the fans what they wanted.
Yep. Yeah.
But here's the deal, and this always bothers me. So they were setting up to try to do the Dwight spinoff, the Shroot Farms or whatever,
for
him and Angela. That. You don't think so? You think it would have been a Joey? Like a Friends Joey thing?
Yes, absolutely would have been. Because he was a bit part. Yeah. Joey was in the middle of that ensemble. Now you don't have that. I'm not going to watch
Dwight and Angela. And I don't know. I really like Mose. Mose is probably one of my favorite characters.
Hey, while we're sitting here saying this, you have a Dwight Schrute. Is that a bobblehead?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
2000, I think 8. This is the only thing I asked for from my parents for Christmas. I just wanted a Dwight Schrute bobblehead. It's the real deal. Bought it from like NBC store, Universal.
Worth it.
See, The Office. Neil.
There it is.
Try me. Come at me, bro.
We did it. I'm not.
Come at me, bro.
Much respect.
I jumped into we didn't. Okay, so you jumped in first season. My friend Chris was the one that told me about the show, and he was like, "I watch this," and there wasn't a ton out there. Like mockumentaries weren't like a thing. Parks and Rec came after.
Right.
All these Brooklyn Nine-Nine is not mockumentary, but kinda similar. Like I jumped in season 3. It was a website called Fan Pop where you could watch TV shows on the internet, and so I went to Fan Pop and I started. And it was season 2 had just ended, and they'd just done episode 1 of season 3. So I came in where Jim was working at the other branch. What's it called? Not Scranton branch.
Rashida Jones.
Yeah, with Rashida Jones and Ed Helms.
Also a writer of Toy Story 4.
Yeah, I know. I saw that because I saw her interview, and I thought it was a joke, and I was like, no, she's really writing.
She really did it.
Yeah.
So I think she had some kind of a role. I could be wrong on this. She had some kind of a role in The Office in the writing side of it before she actually got on there. Well, and so did
BJ Novak was a writer they brought in. Right. So was Toby. A lot of those dudes were brought in as backups, but then obviously they became characters.
Yep.
And so
because they were writers,
they weren't supposed to be like BJ Novak's job for the first year. He was a temp, so it was an easy out if they want to get rid of him. But his job was just to give a look and react to the things that everybody else was doing. Yeah. He was the other guy. He wasn't the joke deliverer.
Nope.
But I don't know. It took me a while to get my brain back in because I jumped into the show, and when I watch a show, Neil, I watch a show. I'm not there like half-heartedly in. I'm in it.
Yeah.
And so it took a while because I didn't know the Jim Pam dynamic. I didn't know the first 2 seasons of build up to that kiss at the casino night. And so it's like I had to go back and watch, and I knew kind of what it like. It was weird.
Okay.
So you know what?
It'd be like picking up Lost in the 3rd season.
Yeah, it's exactly. Or picking up The Office in the 3rd season.
There, it'd be just like what I did. It's exactly it. Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
exactly what it was like.
So you went backwards, watched it all back up, and then okay.
Yeah, I Tarantino'd it, if you will.
Okay.
I was like, I like my Office like I like my Pulp Fiction. You know what I'm saying?
Raw.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
Well, it was. I think the run on Netflix has been great because you've got access. I mean, pretty much everybody can watch it. So you still have a year and a half. To be able to watch this.
And so it's like, and I think that it has given this show the life beyond it. Like we're Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad was not super popular the first couple of years, but then it went on Netflix. Right. Everybody watched it, and then they went back, and you could tell that's where the incline in viewership.
Right.
I don't think The Office has ever really gone out because was there a gap there for when the show ended and then when it was on Netflix, or was it always on Netflix?
No, I don't think it always was on Netflix.
Oh. Okay. While you're looking that up, I'll tell you this: I used to have my 3rd video to hit 1 million views was a Dwight Schrute highlight reel. We were doing this top of the best. It was best. Funniest TV show sitcom people, and my person I picked was Dwight Schrute, and for one of the rounds you had to find a highlight video, and there wasn't one online, so I just made one, and it got over 1 million plus views, and then the copyright hit. It was after 3 or 4 years.
And they got you.
They got me, but I flipped it. So I put it up, they knocked it down, then I flipped it, so mirrored it, and so the end. That was it. It was so great. So great.
I love. Okay, so The Office. Well, no. So it went to 2013, but I don't know when that it actually.
When
showed
Netflix
up
actually
on
grabbed it.
Netflix. Yeah. When did Netflix? Also, by the way, you can still get the DVDs in that queue.
In Netflix. Yeah. How do you know that, Neil?
Because my dad.
That's right.
Still gets.
Your dad still does.
I say, Dad, did you see this on Netflix? He says, No. I'll put it in my queue though. I said, What? It's like, yeah, I like to watch them on the DVDs. I said, Dad, why? So I think he thinks the quality of it is better.
Really?
I don't really, honestly.
Does he have bad Wi-Fi, bad streaming?
No, I don't know. He has bad decision making. That's
Fair
what
enough.
it is. It comes.
So what is your? Is that the show you would go watch? So if you went home and you're like, you know what, I'm not working tonight. I'm tired. I'm not gonna, edit or anything like that. And you're gonna watch something on Netflix, and it's your choice. What are you watching right now? Are you going to The Office?
If I'm going to go back and watch something that I really enjoy, it comes down to The Office. Parks and Rec is kind of a staple. Is Community on Netflix?
No.
I didn't think so.
So wait, will you go to those before you're like, you know what, I'm gonna find something new?
No, I'll go look for something new. But if I'm traveling or whatever, and I just want some classic, tried and true, whatever, yeah, I'll watch The Office for sure.
Okay. Well, I won't. I like it. Now I've been once every 6 months I'll go on like an Office YouTube rant where I just watch a bunch of
or
clips.
it's just clips.
Yeah,
and
or
it's
behind
not
the
whole
scenes,
show,
yeah,
right?
all that. I won't watch the whole thing, but I know people that I work with that'll just literally just watch the whole show all the way through.
Oh no,
like
I'm not
8
doing
or 9
that.
times.
I'm not doing it. It's because it's on. Like my kids are watching it, or if they've got friends coming over, they're gonna sit down and watch it. So it's that. Yeah. Or my daughters are watching Gilmore Girls, and I cannot stop. It is the worst.
I dated a girl in high school that liked that show a lot. I did not like that show a lot.
Yeah, no, witty banter.
I'll tell you the one that so I don't watch a ton of shows, but there's one that I would like. I texted you about. I think last night or the night before. It's called I Think You Should Leave, and it's only like 7 or 8 episodes.
Yeah,
it's a comedy. Now it's like skit. It's very much like Portlandia, I guess.
Okay.
Same actors but different scenarios. I haven't YouTubed it, but. So if you're going to watch The Office for the 84th time, I recommend watching this instead.
Okay, all right.
It's similar kinds of humor where it's kind of silly, but it gets a little bit more ridiculous. It's my favorite kind of humor, just ridiculous. Okay. But it's a dude that used to write for SNL, and he took a bunch of the skits that were rejected by SNL, and he made them into this show. And so you should watch it. The end. That's the whole story. That's how we should end The Office, talking about a different show.
New Netflix stuff like that. I like at least try it for a little while.
Thanks, Neil. It's the only thing I've ever recommended to you, so I really expect you to watch it.
I'll do it.
I just need that promise from you.
I promise.
On the record.
I promise.
How long?
Are we recording this?
How long do you watch it, Neil?
I can't. That's too much.
Promise me.
As long as you want.
Okay. You have 48 hours.
Oh, God.
I will be at your house.
This is brutal.
And I will delete Netflix. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us for The Office.
Now you know everything there is to know.
It's really nothing else.
Nope.
I feel like we've covered everything. Mm-hmm. We even got free Dwight Schrute bobbleheads to everybody who listens. So just send us send us all of your bottle caps and your cereal box lids, and we'll send it to you.
Oh my gosh!
Send it in, and thank you guys for tuning in to the Neil and Tyler Explain Everything podcast.
Nope, it's called the Tyler and Neil Explain Everything podcast.
That's right. I keep getting it wrong.
It is.
I always try to do an order of importance, but we keep going back to the other way.
Yep. So that's The Office. Guess what we're going to talk about next time?
I don't know. Something probably similar to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But not that.
No, not that.
No.
Nope.
All right.
All right, guys.
Y'all be safe. Stay sweet. Hope we have some classes together next year.
Bye.
Gotta work on our outros.
Oh, that's perfect.